What is up, you sexy mother hubbards? It's Tuesday, so that's something to be excited about, and it's time for the alternative paper review. First up to the Daily Express, wishing you both well. King and Kate leave hospital on the same day. Ah, that's nice. Doesn't it just warm the cockles? And this is a sentiment echoed in the Times, with Charles and Kate thank medics as they leave the hospital. You hear that? They thanked the medics. That's lovely.
I just want to say thank you for seeing to my arsehole.
Oh, that's no trouble at all. She only came in a couple of times and she was no bother. My ears are burning. But no, it is nice to see that they made it out from these fairly routine, boring operations alive. But no, I don't know about you guys. I was quite worried. I was about as worried as Charles was the first time his mum went into hospital.
Oh, so you say she's likely to make a full recovery now?
Well, yeah, no, she's really turned a corner. She's doing very, very well indeed.
Right, well,
Also on the front cover of the Times, dissidents in Britain warned of Iran threat. Dissidents? In Britain? Really? It says Iranian dissidents living in the UK have been warned by counter-terrorism police in the past fortnight of an increased risk of violence and kidnap, the Times has learned. Oh, Iranian dissidents living over here. Whew. Meanwhile, the unparalleled investigative reporters of The Sun are going with Rashford's 12-hour tequila party before calling in sick. Oh my god! I don't care. No, I mean I'm being facetious, guys. That really is that's top-notch journalism right there. I'm sure the Pulitzer Prize is on its way now. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail continue their sudden concern for commuters with Rishi goes to war over rail strikes. Indeed, the Prime Minister apparently attacks the union's campaign of contempt for passengers and blasts train operators failing to enforce the minimum service laws. So this is day 2 of their concern for commuters. Yesterday, they were also saying about this, look, you've got to run a minimum of 40%. Even when you're striking, you have to run 40% of your services.
Rishi goes to war over rail strikes.
I mean, wouldn't it just be easier to meet them around a table and go, okay, look, inflation, wage stagnation, hiking rents, soaring mortgages. Maybe morally, economically, it is the right thing to do. To give you a wage increase that means after all the bills and all the tax, you haven't gotten poorer over the last 14 years. Wouldn't it be easy just to do that? But no, instead it has to be misrepresented, contorted, repackaged and pushed back out to readers as though it's the unions have just contempt for commuters. Oh, I hate commuters. And this is the same story as we basically see in the NHS, in teaching, now across TfL, and now the wider national rail networks. It's always the same story. It's like, look, we've gotten poorer. We can't afford to live now. Can we please have a bit more money just so we can afford to come back to work and continue to work for you? Or in some cases, it's more serious than that. It's like, it's dangerous to keep working here in these conditions. We have to strike to get the funding we need to make all of this safe. No, I'm pretty sure it's just a campaign of contempt for commuters. Ugh. Like, Sunak is so evil now and disingenuous and contemptuous of voters and readers. Like, if he was running an oil rig, right, out at sea, and imagine the foundations are creaking, like the whole structure of this oil rig is just not really feeling safe anymore. Then imagine the workers are just like, all right, we're withdrawing our labour because it's not safe. Like, if we continue to work on this thing, if you don't fix it, if you don't maintain it properly, about 100 people are going to die. They're going to fall into the sea and they'll be washed away forever. So I'm sorry, we love what we do. We love working on the rig. It's like a little town. It's like a little community. But yeah, regrettably, we're going to have to shut up shop until you agree that you're going to fix the whole thing to make it safe to work on. Like, if that was the situation and Sunak was running that oil rig, like, forget all of the honesty and integrity and transparency stuff, like, that is just done. If he was running that oil rig now, Rishi Sunak of 2024, he'd be like, these bloody woke snowflake oil rig workers, I'll tell you why they're striking, because they have contempt for motorists that need this oil. And they'd be like, what? No, we don't. Like, we love what we do. You know, putting the oil out of the ground, send it off to the refinery, sell it on the global markets, because it's not our British oil or gas to use. Remember that. That's very important. It goes on the global markets. But we've always loved working on this oil rig. It's just that it's not safe. You bloody wokey health and safety nuts. You just want to stay at home and put your feet up. Like, isn't it funny how everyone just got all like health and safety and woke and lazy and they just want to put their feet up as soon as their industry got dangerous, as soon as they couldn't afford to eat anymore. They're like, this job, this whole industry is a health and safety violation because by working it, I can't afford sustenance. And another 6 months, I might starve to death. Finally to The Guardian. Badenoch and Gove on Tory group evil plotters. So this is a fun one just to round off with today. This is a story that Kemi Badenoch, after saying on the Sunday morning breakfast shows, look, we've all got to rein it in, we've got to unite, we've got to come together, stop the plotting. Now it turns out she's on a WhatsApp group with a bunch of other Tory MPs, and the name of the WhatsApp group is Evil Plotters. So there's a, hypocrisy kind of laughable humiliation layer to this, but the best thing about it was that as this story broke last night, like all of the reactions in the Twitter sphere, if you like, they were like, oh, well, I guess you lefties don't get irony. I think it's pretty obvious it's a joke. Like, they're making jokes out of the fact that there was like plotters and stuff, which would be fine if the WhatsApp group was set up since Sunday, because that's when all that stuff happened. But this WhatsApp group has existed for months. Oh, I guess you lefties don't get irony, do you? I am a fan of irony, and I know that there are some people out there who find it a little bit complex to understand that something means the opposite of what it appears to, or that it's self-referential in some way. But I'm going to say that 99.9% of time, I am able to decipher and appreciate the irony. However, I do confess, sometimes I do struggle with the complexities when the irony is like this, and it's like time-travelling, self-referential, meta-levels deep irony. I mean, to believe that this was irony, you'd have to be like, okay, so they literally said to themselves, let's call ourselves evil plotters, because then in the future, when we're not plotting, but we inexplicably get accused of plotting, then we'll have a months-old joke to look back on and laugh at. And I have to say, I'm impressed by that. That is, I'm a big fan of like in-jokes, running jokes, memes, and so on. And if that is truly what happened here, then just bravo, lads. I mean, we always say the right can't do comedy. It turns out they absolutely can. It's just, it's so complex and levels deep. We lefties can't understand it. Anyway, that's it for this one. If you are so inclined, do tap the 3 dots on YouTube. Give me a little super thanks. Drop a tip in the tip jar for this little dance that I'm doing for you every day. Or even better, join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/AidThompson. Or the counterpart to that over here on YouTube is the YouTube community. If you join that, it's the same tiers, same benefits as Patreon. It's just that you never have to leave YouTube. There you go. Next meetup is in March. If you want to come and have a beer with me in person, put the world to rights over its many, many wrongs. You get episodes of my podcast 2 days before everybody else. You get the Discord instant messaging. I'm in there usually most Friday nights, most days, in fact, talking shit about Tories, life, love, and the universe. And just while we're on the subject, there is a brand new episode out this morning. It's number 247, and it's called Throw One Up the Ovary Pond. Peace.